And from time to time, we welcome guests into our studio, and we're welcoming for the first time on this program Quincy School Committee woman Emily Lebo to chat about the extraordinary circumstances, Emily, that are facing the public schools here in Quincy and really across the country. So good morning.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here with you this morning, Joe. I know it's really amazing what's happened in how quickly our districts have responded to be able to get materials into the kids' hands. I think it's been an incredible lesson in what we can do as a community and what we must be able to do and how resilient we must be.
Yeah, as of this taping, conversation, Quincy Public Schools and schools across Massachusetts are closed through April 6th. That may change. We don't know yet. But in the meantime, we thought, let's give some parents and kids, too, some resources to, maintain their studies at least as much as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
So the Department of Education has been pretty clear on their directive around this. They want districts to provide alternative remote enrichment activities and materials, but they don't want them to be assessing it. So they don't want any students' grades to be affected by the work that's done now. They don't want there's no punishment if you can't do it, because obviously every home is different. Every home has different resources, and so every kid doesn't have the same opportunity. But the district has been very, very, very careful in providing lots of opportunities, and in particular, if you pick up a lunch, or even if you don't pick up a lunch, you can go by and pick up a learning packet by your grade.
Okay.
So they have great packets that they've made up, and they're ready to distribute for kids who don't have access to other materials.
Oh, all right. And those are being distributed at both Quincy and North Quincy High Schools, as well as the Snug Harbor and Lincoln Hancock,
right.
11 to noon every day.
Every day, yeah.
Okay.
So they can pick up lunch and they can pick up breakfast for the next day at the same time.
Oh, okay, good.
So they get 2 meals a day there, but just as importantly, they get the packets.
Yeah, and what are the packets, Emily? What do those entail?
So the packets are really, it's wonderful because we have so many resources in the district already. A lot of the curriculum that we purchase has enrichment materials with it, online enrichment materials.
Okay.
And so they print out those things. So there are games, there are word searchers, there are, it's depending upon the age level.
Grade specific,
it's
right?
Very grade specific.
Okay.
I think it's pre-K through 1, and then it goes up by grade. And also, every student in Quincy has an Aspen account. So Aspen is our student information system.
Okay.
And so they can communicate continuously by way of Aspen also.
Oh, okay.
So all of the students have them. They may not know their account, but the district is willing to talk to anybody and give them their account number.
Right.
Because some people, the younger kids don't use them that much.
Sure.
The middle school kids and the high school kids know their Aspen account.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they do, yeah.
They're on them all the time.
So.
And then the district also has put on its website an incredible, not only the learning materials that are being distributed, but also a list of online resources that are really incredible.
Okay.
And I think what's really important is that, have you heard of the phenomenon called Summer Slide?
Summer Slide, no.
So Summer Slide is researched and documented that kids who don't have learning experiences over the summer actually lose ground.
Oh, okay.
So they actually lose reading ability and some other academic skills if they don't have opportunities to participate in that stuff. Yeah.
So if you're in 6th grade and then you go on summer break and you come back, if you don't do something, you're back to 5th grade levels?
You could lose some speed with that.
Really?
And it's documented.
Okay.
So this could be an enormous summer slide.
Yeah.
We're starting pretty early, and so I think they really want to keep kids actively learning and engaged with learning.
Sure.
Even though they're not going to be assessing it or grading students based on it or promoting students based on it.
Right.
Or punishing students who don't do it. There'll be none of that. But they just want to make sure kids are engaged, because it's a known phenomenon, and it could have a big, and depending upon your circumstances,
Right.
And right now, I think lots of kids are in the exact same boat, because no one's getting much more stimulation than anybody else.
Right.
No one's going to museums.
No,
or
right.
Walks in the park are still
That's
still
about
allowable.
it.
That's about it.
That is about it,
But
right.
they're not getting the other stuff that they might be getting.
Yeah.
So it's really important for parents to understand that and to engage kids in those things that will help.
Yeah. Some of the institutions you mentioned, we should point out, also do have online resources available, like the Boston Children's Museum, I know,
Yep, yes.
and right here in Quincy, the Thomas Crane Public Library.
Right.
Folks should explore those as
A
well.
lot of the museums have a virtual, and so does the aquarium.
Oh, do they?
I saw
Okay.
something on the aquarium. Penguins were walking around. It was pretty cool.
All right.
Pretty
So
cool.
there's
So
that
they're
too.
trying to keep people engaged in all the cultural stuff that goes on, and that's helpful. But again, you have to have devices and
Right.
access, and
Yeah.
everybody doesn't have equal access. I think that's one of the things we really are concerned about in the school committee.
Yeah.
Because you might have 3 kids and 1 laptop.
Right. Yeah,
You know,
that's so
so-
true. Yeah, or no internet access at all in
Right.
some cases.
Well, right now, I guess, I'm not sure how it works, but Xfinity is offering it free right now.
Yeah, I think I saw that
I
as
don't know how
well.
you would get it if you didn't already have it.
Right, yeah.
I'm not sure how that
It's
works,
worth
but
exploring, though, if
It is worth
if folks
exploring.
don't have it. And we should point out, too, that the offices of the public schools are still staffed, that
Absolutely,
the administrator
yeah.
is still there, so
They
to
are.
answer questions by phone as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And so is the Department of Education.
Okay.
I know that the commissioner has given his personal cell phone out to every superintendent in
right?
the district. And I know that Quincy's been in touch with the Associate Commissioner, Russell Johnson, repeatedly to make sure they're getting this stuff right.
Okay.
You know, and make sure that they're handling the way they should be.
Yeah.
And the communication has been great from the Department of Education, and I think it's been great out of Quincy Public Schools, too. I talked to them yesterday again and told them how proud I was of the work that they've done, especially on that website of getting stuff out. Even kids who have questions around advanced placement courses, which is a concern.
Yeah.
You know, kids are in 3/4 way through their advanced placement courses, and we still don't know if they're going to be tested.
Right.
The College Board hasn't come up with that, and if school is extended, you know, they've never tested without being proctored. So, you know, I don't, there are some...
So how valid would those scores be then, you know?
Yeah. Well, there are some ways I guess it can be done, but it's a big setup. I know some professional organizations test remotely, but it's a big deal the way
Okay.
you do it. So I don't know whether you have to. I don't know.
Yeah. And the MCAS exams have not happened, right? Those were
They have
delayed as
not
well.
happened.
Yeah.
And that's going to take probably a federal and a state legislation to move on that and say it's not necessary, because that's
Right.
actually how we respond to the federal law
Yes.
is through the MCAS.
Yes.
You know, so it's going to take a lot of legislation to get that excused, but it's a whole country thing at this point.
It's
so
and it's
it really is.
unprecedented, you know.
It is unprecedented.
So they'll have
And then
to-
we have that other really wonderful opportunity that I hope stays a wonderful opportunity, the Student Opportunity Act.
Oh, yes.
So
yes.
Quincy was in line to get a large windfall of money to address certain populations and some gaps that we have in learning in certain populations. And we were just at the beginning of reaching out to the whole community and getting input from parents and stakeholders about what that community needs most to be successful. And those were all canceled. So
Oh, okay.
because you had to cancel everything. So that is due April 1st, and there's no way.
No.
There's no way,
I think it's at least $1 million, I think.
3.6 for Quincy in money that we can use for education, and
Wow.
some other funds for money that we can use for other things.
Wow. So for parents right now, Emily, who are trying to
Right.
keep their kids engaged one way or another, you know, I mean, you've spent your entire professional life in public education, certainly,
have,
so I'm sure you have some information, tips, and advice for folks.
Well, the main thing, I think, is to have a schedule. I think it's really, really important, and I think the superintendent's going to put some sample schedules on the website today,
Okay.
just so, you know, if you have a kindergartner, what types of activities might you do, and what should you be doing? You know, there should be some independent reading every single day. Most kids should be doing independent reading. There should be you reading to the little kids every single day.
Okay.
There's maybe some art activities, certainly some physical activities. And so I think that you need to have a schedule. I think the worst thing is to have kids in their pajamas at 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. A routine, right, is so
Just
critical.
a routine,
Yeah.
And I think, you know, good for the high school kids, they don't have to get up at 6:30.
That's right.
But they should be up by 8, you know?
Yeah,
They should
exactly.
be up and moving around at 8 o'clock
Yeah.
anyway. And I, you know, everybody up and dressed anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I said that to a family I was talking to. I said, yeah, make your bed, get dressed every day. Tell them to make their bed and get dressed every day. I said it to my daughter-in-law, and she said, they've never made their beds.
Well,
Good time to start.
talk about life lessons, you know, there's an education right there.
Good time to start.
Yeah.
Make your bed every single morning. and
This
get
is, you know,
dressed.
it's going to be challenging for parents, too. They're, in a way, going back to school just to learn how to deal with this with their children.
Yeah, and I've heard some experts. There was a great guy from Boston College on TV yesterday who said, you don't have to be the math expert. You have skills. You know, share your skills with your kid.
That's
and
right.
Also vocabulary, you know. But you don't have to be the math expert. Don't worry about that.
Right.
You know, the packets will allow the kids to advance or to just reinforce what they know.
Okay.
And you shouldn't worry about teaching skills. Nobody
Okay.
should be worried about teaching skills. I think, again, the advanced placement kids have a different issue, but that's supposed
Yeah.
to be more independent study.
Right, yeah.
That's what you're if
They've
you
been
take
doing it
that
already,
course- If
yeah.
you take that course, you're supposed to know how to independent study.
You've already learned that, right? You've
have-
learned how to
if
study.
You can do that, right?
Yeah.
And there's so many resources for those courses online. I know students who have taken the test who've never taken the course,
Oh, really?
who have just done all the online work.
Yeah. And how did they do?
And very well.
Wow.
They're
Okay.
very motivated.
Yes.
But it can be done.
Yes.
You know?
Well, you know, they've always said school is what you make it. You know, the resources are there. It's it's how you utilize them, to your best interests. Yeah. And I think that's probably true. There's certainly the main source of resource is the teachers and the staff, and then there's the materials that go with that, and it's all there.
Yeah, and it's the family home, too. It is
Yes.
the family. It's definitely a partnership.
Sure.
Education is definitely a partnership between all of those people and the community.
Yeah.
Things like this.
Right.
Quincy does great stuff of getting information to the community, I think. It really is. It's a great place to be, to feel safe and nurtured,
Yeah.
The superintendent talks about wraparound services all the time.
Yes,
I
yeah.
say that about the city all the time, too.
Yeah.
We have some of the best wraparound services.
I was so curious to hear the superintendent talk about the public schools reaching out to seniors after they graduate, even to help them in their first year of college, perhaps, or
Yes.
first year of military, or first year of work, or whatever they happen to be doing.
Yeah.
That did not exist in my lifetime.
That's another phenomenon that they've discovered, and I can't remember what the word for it is. It's not summer slide, but it's summer something.
Yeah.
That kids who think they know where they're going in June,
Yeah.
a lot of them don't wind up there.
Oh.
So, we have exit polls, and they tell us exactly where they're going, and they think they're going there.
Sure.
But something changes in September, and they're not there.
Okay.
And so we actually did, the state did a study, and they showed us, out of the kids who we thought, and I don't have the numbers with me, but it's pretty significant. Out of the kids who we thought were going someplace, how many of them actually went, and how many actually completed a year. And it was a lot of drop-off.
Is that right?
Yeah, so,
Interesting.
we've been talking about that, you maybe using some of the SOA money, though I'm not sure you could, to
Yeah.
go pull those kids back in, maybe get some of them involved in vocational experiences.
Oh, okay.
During the evening or something, so
Yes.
that they could maybe head towards a skill if they weren't doing something. Get them into Quincy College, if nothing else, because Quincy College is wonderful. It's here, it's closer for them. Kids might have thought that they were going to go someplace and then couldn't get there for one reason or another.
Right.
So we are looking at that as one of our goals, is to look at that population.
Interesting. Okay, and there already is, I think, a partnership between the public schools and Quincy College where seniors can start to earn credit while they're still in high school.
Oh, way before senior year.
Oh,
They're doing-
okay.
Yeah, they're doing dual enrollment, a lot of dual enrollment, which is great.
Yeah.
Really great.
Of course, Quincy College is closed right now as well,
I
but their
know.
online classes continue.
We just redid the homework policy. Well, it's supposed to have been voted on, but the school committee meeting was canceled.
Yeah.
But we did a lot of work on the homework policy, and we said, one of the things we're not going to talk about is how much homework kids in AP or dual enrollment need, because
Okay.
if you make that choice,
Yep.
then you have to be prepared to take on that workload, because it is, dual enrollment is college, it's a college curriculum. And the
Okay.
assessments have to be the same as the college on those courses.
All right, yeah. We keep talking about the website. We haven't given it out. It's just simply quincypublicschools.com.
Yeah, it is really wonderful.
Yeah.
I have it here, I
Yep.
think.
It's brand new, up and running not too long ago, actually. And we had the vice chair of the school committee, Anthony Andronico, in not
yes.
too long ago to talk about
He
it.
did a great job.
He
Can I
did.
do this?
Yeah. Oh, we'll get that up and running for you.
Okay.
But I wanted to ask you, what is, I did look at the website earlier, and it mentioned go to Google Classroom. So what
Yes.
is Google Classroom?
So Google Classroom is phenomenal, but you have to have a Google account, which everybody in Quincy Public Schools can have.
Okay.
But they have to set you up for it.
Oh, all right.
And then when you see on the bottom of the website here, I'm sorry, I'm so used to
No,
a tablet.
that's quite all right, yeah. Oh, I would have had that set up for you had I known.
That's okay.
But people can call the school administration
Yes,
office
yeah,
and
the IT
get
department is in full force.
and get that set
And
up.
they're setting up people's Google accounts, and then if you look at are we on the thing here? Yeah, we are. Is this the corner button? Yep, yes. That's for all the links, I guess.
Yeah, that's just the home page there that we have set up for you to
Yeah,
look
but
at.
here's nope, that's not the Google Classroom, so I'm going to go back here.
But they'll be able to set you up over the phone. 984-8700, by the way, is the phone number
Yes.
to the main administration building at the Quincy
And I
Public
know
Schools.
they're all in there, so,
Right. They are able to help for sure. And that actually was just put up on the website as of yesterday. So folks should continue to check that because I know it's continually updated as well.
yeah, I don't see the link for that
Yeah.
particular thing, no, but
Well, that's all right. It's
it's on here.
it is there. Folks go looking for
Yeah,
it.
it's a great, and I'll follow this link, there it is, right there.
Okay, very good.
Follow this link for educational learning.
And it will take you right to it.
Sure.
And I know it's set up by grade level, too.
It is.
So, yeah.
It is. And then even at the high schools, it's set up by course.
Oh, all right.
So at the high school ones, they'll have to say, if you're in advanced Algebra 1, this is what you should be doing to stay up to date.
Okay.
If you're in geometry standard or college prep is what they call it, this is
Yeah.
what you should be doing. So it's very specific. And they actually are recommending that some of the high school kids start their summer reading now because it'll be ready for them for the fall, but these are books that they have to have to move on to the next level.
Okay.
they're asking them to do that. They still have plenty of time to do it, and they're not going to be assessed.
Okay.
But,
All right. So
But it's a suggestion, but it's a good suggestion, and it's,
really a lot of this is asking kids to grow up pretty quick and take responsibility for their own education.
yeah.
In a lot of cases.
I know, because there's still a social aspect that they're missing out
True.
on, and that's, well, I just signed up with Zoom. Have you done Zoom yet?
I have not, but I'm familiar with it.
So
Yeah.
I think that we're going to have like a little dinner party with my kids and my husband one night this weekend with us all on Zoom. So,
Via, yeah.
you see each other on the thing. We'll all be eating dinner at different places.
But there's at least the
is some-
visual part of it.
There is,
Yeah.
and you can joke with each other and have fun with
Yeah,
it.
and
So
I think that's important, is to keep a bit of levity during this time,
It is.
as well, to get
It
through
is.
it. For high school seniors, Emily, some special advice for them? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of uncertainty right now in terms of, are we going to graduate? Are we going to get our diplomas? Are they going to be valid for the colleges that we've already been accepted to? It's all up in the air right now.
It is up in the air.
Yeah.
We just don't know how long this is going to continue
I know.
for, and you feel so bad for those kids who have been preparing for this for 13 years, some of them, in the Quincy Public Schools, and this is the culmination of all their work, and we'll still celebrate them somehow,
Yeah.
for sure. And hopefully it'll be at graduation, but their grade point average is not going to be affected by anything that happens between now and the time we open.
Okay.
The school year is not going to be extended beyond June 23rd.
Right.
That's the last day of
Regardless.
school. Regardless, yeah. The state has excused that, so that's one of the reasons why they can't count that work, because it's not counting towards the time on learning,
Yeah.
which is understandable. For the seniors, I really feel bad for the kids, like on the robotics team, or the kids in the
Yeah.
athletic programs who have been working for this stuff all these years,
Right. Yeah.
And this should, and it is their time to shine. It really is their time to shine. So we'll have to find a way to make sure that happens.
Yeah.
The colleges are going to be, everybody's going to be in the same boat.
Yes.
So
yeah.
the SATs were pretty much canceled. There's no AP test scheduled, so
Right.
everybody's in the same boat about that, and I think that the GPAs will not be affected.
Okay.
People's class ranks will not be affected. I know kids who are taking 2 AP courses want to make sure they get the weighted credit, because it matters a lot to those kids, who comes in as top of the class. It really does matter a lot. So they'll figure that out, too.
Yeah. Okay.
And make sure that nobody is penalized about something that none of us had any control
No
over.
control, yeah. And the superintendent has already said the community service requirements will be suspended, of
Yeah.
course. Although this is a good time if older kids are able to maybe help out their friends and neighbors,
Yeah.
if necessary,
As long
sure.
as they stay
6 feet
6
apart.
feet
That's
apart.
right, exactly, which
Yeah.
we're trying to maintain here in
Yeah,
our
They're doing a
studio.
very good job of it, too. The place
Yeah.
was clean as a whistle when I came in, so I
Absolutely.
felt pretty safe.
Good. We strive for that, for
Yeah.
sure. Anything else you'd like to add before we...
No, I just think that it's a great chance to, there's only so much bonding you really want to do, but it is a great chance
Yeah.
to bond as a family.
Yeah.
I've seen my own kids walking around the city with their kids riding bikes and, going from place to place and just staying together as a family and moving outside, and it's just, people playing Risk games that go on, or Monopoly games that go on for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing that's probably I did as a kid
Yep.
anyway, because
Yep.
we didn't have so many other distractions, and I think it's really important. I think it's really important for kids not to be online too long.
Yeah.
Half an hour at a time
Okay.
is the most, and they should be moving their eyes around at different distances and making sure, and not doing it as they approach bedtime, because that's one of the things that will throw off their schedule. If they can't sleep at night,
Yep.
then they won't be getting up in the morning.
Okay.
When we
All
want
right.
them all up and dressed.
Yeah.
So I think the online stuff, as important as it is, it has to be balanced.
Okay, so maybe something as simple as writing out a schedule and sticking it on the refrigerator,
Right.
and
And I think a lot of people are doing that.
Yeah.
But I think, like, as I said, the superintendent's going to have that on the website today, some sample schedules that he's
Okay.
working with the educators with to see what would look best. They have things like Box, which is it's electronic, it's a movement system that they put in place, so
Oh.
the kids know what to do.
Okay.
They've been doing Box at home, so they can do Box for 20 minutes in the morning, and so they can take breaks like that, have a snack.
take the
cut
dog
off
for a walk or
hours,
something.
Take the dog for a walk. Definitely try to get outside if you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
There's a
right.
lot of people out there walking
Yes.
in the neighborhoods.
Yes.
There's a lot of people out there walking.
Well, fortunately, and there, we have Faxon Field now with a nice walking track there as
Yeah.
well. For, if it's safe, it's enclosed, folks can use that. So there are some
Yeah.
facilities available
One
too.
of my neighbors just put up a swing in his backyard. I said, "Oh, how come you did that?" He said, "The playground's closed."
Yes, yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
Well, I
There's,
said, "I walked the kids down the playground yesterday and it's closed." I said,
Yeah.
"Oh, good point. It should be."
yeah, at the moment at least,
Yeah,
yeah, unfortunately.
It should be.
QuincyPublicSchools.com, again, is the main website. 617-984-8700 is the main telephone number to reach the public schools. And Emily, for folks maybe who want to reach out to you through your email,
Oh, sure.
perhaps?
My email, Quincy Public Schools, elebo@thequincypublicschools.org.
.org.
Yeah,
I think it's .com, actually.
I think it's .com,
yeah,
too.
it
I
is
think
.com.
yeah.
Okay,
No,
anything?
I'd be happy to take any questions or comments from folks.
Great. Anything else?
No?
Thank you so much. Really appreciate
Thank you.
the opportunity. You're welcome. Hope it helps get folks through this time.
I hope so.